welcome to the NewsX Sunday Guardian Roundtable. This week, we are again taking a look at what is happening in the Congress. A lot of people say that don't you have anything else to talk about? But at the end of the day, we are still waiting for the Congress to get its story right because the BJP is there and it is there in full steam. What it needs for the country needs is a viable opposition. And for that, the Congress has to take the lead. It is the only pan-India party in the opposition. Rahul Gandhi has kind of, ensured that he is the de facto leader of the India Alliance, even though Mallikarjun Kharge holds the post. But it is what Rahul Gandhi says that the India Alliance by and large does follow. For instance, the caste census, taking on, the parliament strategy. But of late, there have been fissures. Delhi was, of course, the biggest, most visible thing of the fissure. What is happening within the Congress? First, all the partners in the India Alliance are saying, first, let the party get its own act together before it can lead us. So can the Congress lead itself? And who is leading the Congress? Who is calling the shots? What is going to happen to people who have some standing, some, following within the party, outside the party, whether it is Shashi Tharoor, DK Shiv Kumar, even a Sachin Pilot? What happens to leaders like that? That's something we're going to be discussing on the show today. I have with me one of my favorites, Rashid Kidwai, someone who knows what's happening in the Congress, author of 24 Akbar Road, senior journalist, columnist and author. Sugata Srinivas Raju, he's written that book on Rahul Gandhi's Strange Burdens. He's also someone who's an author and a journalist. And I have Rahul Eastward. He's a philosopher, he's a Hindu activist and a political commentator. Anand Kochukudi, he is a senior journalist living in Kerala. He's been writing a lot about what is happening within the Kerala Congress and the state in the BJP also. But Rashid, let's have a larger picture first. Can you set the stage for us? What is happening within the party? Rahul, what is the equation between Rahul and Kharge? People like Shashi Tharoor, DK Shiv Kumar, Sachin Pilot, do they have any role at all in the Congress?
Yes, Supriya, I think you have posed a very sort of interesting question, a very tantalizing one. But we must address it is what is not happening in Congress. And that will tell that, what Congress should be doing. The Congress is actually not able to get its act together in the context of two very important things that I see. One is about accountability, lack of accountability. There have been series of elections and we have all discussed, but there is a total absence of accountability. And the thing about getting a election management system in place. You mentioned some of the names, Sachin Pilot, Shashi Tharoor, DK Shiv Kumar, I would say Priyanka Gandhi, several others. They are all very capable about this thing called how to win elections. They at least know a thing or two about it. But the Congress is not able to set that election management process right, because there are a lot of things are going back and forth between Mallikarjun Kharge and Rahul Gandhi. Rahul Gandhi, as we understand, and Sugatada may vouch for it, that he had said that he is not, he is not going to interfere in the day-to-day functioning of the Congress when he resigned in May 2019. But what we see is that there is a direct influence, and then comes the Kerala question. So all the problems of the Congress, go back to Anand, and perhaps, if I'm not wrong, Rahul, it was, state where there is a lot of, congressmen are from there, and they are creating a lot of, I would say, problems and obstacles in the functioning of the Congress. Even Shama Mohammed, for instance, Priya, she also comes from Kerala. And the kind of statement that she made was totally uncalled for, and there was no remorse, there was no course correction. Deleting Twitter was not something what is sought. Just let me finish by one anecdote. I remember way back when Motilal Vora was a chief minister of Madhya Pradesh in 1990, and the Congress lost. So Motilal Vora ji wanted to take the kind of responsibility of electoral defeat, and so he resigned. So somebody from Rajiv Gandhi's side was sent to him saying that please don't resign, because but being Vora ji, he went ahead and resigned. Then finally, Rajiv Gandhi called him. Rajiv Gandhi was a generous man with a large-hearted person. And he asked, he said, Moraji, why did you resign? So Moraji said that he resigned because, the Congress lost and united Madhya Pradesh. He said, but, by resigning, you put me in a spot because, if you're taking a responsibility, then the responsibility is with me also. What do I do? Do I have to resign? So that is a real crux of the problem, because there is lack of, accountability, because, the buck stops with Rahul Gandhi, and Rahul Gandhi does not want to take that responsibility.
Fair enough. And if you're talking Shama Mohammed, let's also add Manishankar Ayyar. What is his latest comment about Rahul, Rajiv Gandhi's degrees? I mean, what is the Congress doing at the end of the day? So Gata, first let's focus on the larger picture, then we come to
Yeah.
the states. What do you think is happening? Is there a way out? Is the thing as bleak as it looks? And how much time can we keep giving Rahul and the Congress?
Thank you, Priya. Thank you for having me on the show. Rashid has actually elucidated the actual picture that as it exists today. But I would like to take a step back and try to point out that between 2014 and 2024 were two very defining moments for the Congress Party. 2014 was when the Congress lost very badly, and Congress was trying to signal that we are going to come back automatically. There is a kind of default state for the Congress. The Congress is such a big organization, and it's going to come back on its own. That was the kind of thinking that existed in 2014. And now 10 years later, 2024, where do we stand? 2024, when they won 99 seats, the Congress celebrated it as if it was their victory. It was actually a borrowed kind of a victory, where the 99 seats, most of those 99 seats were given as a kind of bakshis by their alliance partners, say in Uttar Pradesh or in Bihar or in Maharashtra. So it was a kind of Congress was propped up. But what did Rahul Gandhi say at that point? In fact, I distinctly remember reacting to a Financial Times interview that he gave with John Reed, where he said that we have demolished Modi. We have completely, slayed him. That was the kind of language that was being used. You had no perspective on what had happened, and you had no humility to accept that you had just about begun reforming the Congress Party, but you thought you had been revived, and you were already seeing the, Lok Kalyan Marg, 7 Lok Kalyan Marg, residents, and you were already portraying yourself as a person in contention for prime ministership, and you got the whole thing wrong. What I'm basically trying to point out, Priya, is that the Congress Party should have had the humility and should have collected its thought in such a way that they should have said, this is the first step. We will go, step by step, because this is a huge battle. We'll have to fight it out together, and they had to make real, genuine concessions to people fighting alongside them. So, but they suddenly lost focus. So that is the problem with the Congress Party. The Congress Party's mentality is that we are born to rule. You used a very nice phrase at the beginning of this conversation where you said a very vibrant or vital opposition, viable opposition. I think you said viable opposition. But the Congress has not, reworked its position or its numbers or its thinking in such a way that it thinks of itself as a viable opposition. The opposition does not function like this. You should ask someone like, some people who have been in opposition for a longer period, someone like a Devegowda, how they revive themselves decennially. They fight and they fight and they fight. And in a 70-year career, someone like a Devegowda had held power only for 6 years. So the rest of the time was spent in opposition. So that is where you have to learn your lessons. Or a Nitish Kumar, who all took a long time to come into government. So that kind of resilience, fighting. So the Congress is its own enemy, because it does not know how to sort of put itself in a kind of position where it has to think of fighting back. It never fights back.
Rahul, first let's talk about your namesake before we talk about Karnataka in specific. Rahul Gandhi, first of all, why should I just say Rahul Gandhi? Mallikarjun Kharge Rahul Gandhi. How do you see this equation playing out? It could have played out so well. What is it going wrong? Apart from, I take what Sugata says, lack of consistency.
Yeah. Priyaji, if I'm audible.
Lack of ideology. What else is there,
Yeah, Priyaji, two submissions. First of all, the issue of Congress is much like the Hanuman Swami, who is unaware of its own strength, who is afraid whether it can jump to Sri Lanka. What Hanuman really needs is a Jambawan. And Congress has lost that spirit. And what is the core spirit that Congress lost? Congress is basically a Gandhian Hindu party. That's the core of Congress. Congress was always the Gandhian Hindu party, the upper class, upper caste, Brahmin Benya party of the one day. and Congress has lost the roots. Whose vote are Congress losing? For example, take my state, Kerala. In Kerala, Muslim League is a very respected pluralistic party for all communities, including Hindus. I am a frequent to Muslim League programs. Muslim League will consolidate the Muslim votes. Kerala Congress will consolidate the Christian votes. The communists will consolidate the secular left liberal vote. What else is there to consolidate for Congress? It has to consolidate the Hindu votes, which is basically upper caste or so-called forward caste middle class votes. Modi ji came and took away the entire forward caste middle class votes or the aspirational middle class vote. It is as simple as that. And Congress is, or especially Rahul Gandhi, people like Rahul Gandhi is left without a clue regarding what to do. And let me point out one very specific instance. Rahul Gandhi is emphasizing on caste census. This is for the older version of caste census called a communal award by Ramsay MacDonald. A Hindu activist called Mahatma Gandhi decided, I will die, but I will not let Hindus be divided. And Mahatma Gandhi went on for a fast in Pune's Yerwada jail. And at last, he convinced Ambedkar to come back and join the larger Hindu fold. Mahatma Gandhi was ready to die for it. And Rahul Gandhi is inspiring the caste census because he wants to divide the Hindu votes. Rather, he should consolidate. If he really wants to come to power, he wants to consolidate the pluralistic Hindu vote. I won't use the word secular. See, the whole point is, please remember, the ideology of Congress is not secularism. Mahatma Gandhi was never secular, but he was ready to die for Hindu-Muslim unity. He was a pluralist. He used the word Sarva Dharma Samabhava. So the Nehruvian secularism which Congress champions won't get them anywhere, because at the end of the day, see, I'm a Brahmin community, I'm a Hindu activist, I'm from a forward Brahmin community. I will feel unrepresented in Congress. Why should I vote and support Congress when there is a BJP who will upload my culture, who is ready to take care of me, who will, at least in principle, at least in talking, give some kind of tax concession, support the middle class and aspirational middle class? Why should I vote for him? But rather, a person like me will be very interested to vote for a Shashi Tharoor as CM. And I was pained to see Adhir Ranjan Chaudhary sir is a real fighter, respects to him, no doubt. But when a Shashi Tharoor is there, why can't you make him the Lok Sabha leader of the opposition? Rather, go for Adhir Ranjan Chaudhary. See, this is, and last line, this is the same mistake, with great respect, Sonia ma'am did with Pranab Kumar Mukherjee. See, Pranab Kumar Mukherjee is a Brahmin from Bengal, the middle class, aspirational middle class, forward caste, kind of a firefighter, balancer. He should have been the Prime Minister. We were telling this for a whole lot of time. Right now, even Manishankar Iyer said in 2 months back that, this should have been done. See, the forward community, Hindu middle class, even though we are hardly 15 crores, say 20 crores at max, but we are the voiceful minority in India. The media, the establishment, the middle class, the consumer class, we are that class, and Congress is happy to leave us. See, this is the issue. I know I have a great respect for a great leader like Mallikarjuna Kharge ji, but who goes on to say, even in Lok Sabha, that you Aryans are outsiders. I mean, this was his word. And ideally, we should have said that nobody is an outsider. We are all insiders, including Muslims, Hindus, Christians, Dalits. We are all insiders. But Mallikarjuna Kharge ji, you guys are outsiders. Why should we, at the end of the day, support this? See, Rahul Gandhi's earlier pitch saying that I'm a Januyudhari Brahmin, I'm a devotee of Shiva, if doing consistently will do good. And last line, Narendra Modi ji is cleverly pitching. He earlier pitched himself as the Sardar Vallabhai Patel, building the largest statue in the world. After that, he wanted to grow higher. So he pitched Amit Shah ji to be the Sardar Vallabhai Patel, and he was pitching himself as Fakir and second Mahatma Gandhi. See, on the other side, you have De Villiers, Sachin Tendulkar, Don Bradman batting. And on this side, you are giving full tosses to the leg side like Manishankar Iyer ji and Shama Mohammed to play. So this is the dire state that normal people of India ends up having without a strong opposition.
Okay, interesting. Anand, we talked Shashi Tharoor and Pranab Mukherjee. I mean, without Pranab Mukherjee was definitely much more taller leader and had more thing. But having said that, what happened in that meeting that took place recently? Has Shashi Tharoor bought his peace, or is he still simmering? What is happening actually? What's that space?
I will first come to what some of the other panelists, including Rahul, touched upon. The Congress, I think, has taken, slightly left, gone slightly left from what it was. It was a central party. I don't think, Nehruvian socialism or Nehruvian attitude is the problem, as Rahul says, but Congress has veered to the left. And this is not only happening in the center in Delhi, but also in other states. And in Kerala, for example, the left is now becoming a party which can be acceptable to the middle class, while the Congress was always a party of the middle class in Kerala. Now the Kerala, unit of the Congress is more left than the left. Why should that happen? In Bengal, for instance, Mamata Banerjee may have come to power by being, more left than the left, in the sense she was adopting a more left posture. But that would have worked in Bengal, but it can never work in Kerala. So the left is trying to come to power for a third time in Kerala by riding piggyback on the middle class, because the middle class is a sizable chunk. There's no working class. The working class has shrunk so much. But the Congress somehow doesn't understand that you can't really adopt such left posture in Kerala or even in Delhi, because that won't get you the votes. You have to be a more centrist party, umbrella party, liberal party, secular party. There's nothing, wrong with being secular and be saying that you are secular, but being secular or pluralist, it doesn't mean that you cannot accept or you cannot be accepting of other religions. Congress is secular, but Congress is also more centrist. You can't just be harping on the caste census, all the random statements by you can't be going totally against the liberal consensus by taking left postures. Congress was never that. As for Shashi Tharoor is somebody who will be acceptable to all the communities in Kerala as a CM candidate. He'll be acceptable to the Hindus, he'll be acceptable to the Muslims, he'll be acceptable to the Christians. While there are no leaders like that in Kerala anymore, like K. Karunakaran, he was a Hindu Hriday Samrat, but he was equally acceptable to the Christians and the Muslims. Uman Chandy was like that. He was a Christian leader, but he was always acceptable to everybody. And in such a vacuum, Shashi Tharoor's value as a leader of the Kerala Congress is immense.
Tharoor is not acceptable to Congress. He's acceptable to everyone else, but not Congress.
That's true, apparently so. Okay, I'm going to take a quick break and come back and keep the conversation going, so stay with us. Hello and welcome back to the NewsX Sunday Guardian Roundtable. We are taking a look at what is happening within the Congress and, when will it be able to, reassert itself, its role. What about individual leaders who are trying to make some kind of a mark within the Congress? And the ideology. Rashid, will you take from what Rahul has said about the Nehruvian secularism versus the Gandhian Hinduism? That is what Congress was known for. They've ceded that place so many times over. What next now?
Yeah, so I think largely I agree, Priya, with whatever Rahul was saying about the Congress character and that. But then, Priya, it boils down to the stakeholders. Now here, who is a stakeholder? Is it the Gandhi family who's a stakeholder, or is it the so to say millions of Congress leaders across the country, Congress workers and people who are in the working committee or holding influential positions? Gandhis have an illusion of grandeur in the sense that they think that it is their Christian duty to be leading the Congress and fighting for secularism and for whatever ideology that they think is fit. So they do it, and of course, in the Congress historically, there's always been this kind of thing that largely people, average Congress person, believed in the Gandhian concept of religion, in the sense the dominance of religion, and dharma actually is a better word, rather than Nehru's concept of secularism, which was a negation of religion. That religion should be kept out of day-to-day functioning of politics. So there's been a debate, but the dominance is still in the Congress is of that of the Gandhian thought. So that I agree. But then, Priya, comes a question that, is the Congress, failing Gandhis, or Gandhis are failing the Congress? Many people would think it is Gandhis. But the kind of comfort they enjoy, and that is where I see there's a problem, whether it is Shashi Tharoor or rest of it, they are not putting up any, kind of credible pressure. You look at, very quickly, just the history of Congress. In 1967, for the first time, Congress lost in 7 states. And that is where in 69, there was a split in Congress. That split was not very effective because Indira Gandhi actually fought back and got a, upper hand. Again, in 1977, when Indira Gandhi lost, the party got split. In Later on also, when Narasimha Rao, lost power, the party was, there were many Tiwari Congress, and there was Bangarappa Congress, there was Scindia Congress, and of course, later on during Kesri's time, this Trinamool Congress was formed. So what I'm saying is, in 2014 to 2024, when there have been electoral setbacks, there is no kind of pressure. 150 Congress leaders of consequence left the party, but there has been no pressure on the Congress leadership, that being Gandhi's, by the party people or any kind of ideological thing. Priya, we know that in that Mount Abu conclave of Chintan Shiva, in 2022, a lot of questions were asked about the religious outreach program, particularly for people, leaders from the North India. There is this issue that we should be allowed to have our say in the matters of faith. But then it was all like, people say that it's all there in Jairam Ramesh's laptop, and even the deliberations were never made public. So the issue here is, in every political party, there is a sign of life. When the BJP was not doing well under Lal Krishna Advani in 2000, when they lost 2009 elections, there was a great resilience, and that led to the rise of Narendra Modi, and how Mr. Modi, came and became a supreme leader of the BJP. And it's a very fascinating story, but it's also a story of a lot of internal struggle. We don't see that struggle taking place. Yeah, you got a glimpse of it when Arjun Singh and Narendra Tiwari, they also fought against PV Narasimha Rao. Whether they were successful or not, that's a different thing, but there was a resistance. Today, we don't see any resistance, and this absence of internal democracy in Congress is something that is, it's not showing a good sign of life in the grand old party.
Okay. I like to take that question. Is the Congress failing the Gandhis, or the Gandhis failing the Congress? And also a little bit about the same case of D.K. Shivkumar, since he just told the party line.
Yeah. Now, I'll just respond to what the other panelists just said about the ideology of the Congress, and then come to the question that you asked. See, the Congress was, a big tent party, as everybody has pointed out, until a particular point of time, and then they lost clue. See, till the 1980s, until the Ram Janam Bhoomi movement happened, they were a big tent party. And if let me tell you this: in 1952, when someone like a Govind Pant was campaigning for the Congress party, his campaign line was that, don't vote for the socialists, they will come after your temples. This was the kind of line that someone like Govind Pant, who later became the Home Minister of India, was. So it was not just the Nehruvian line. I think we all like to say that the Nehruvian line was dominant, but Nehru was himself tied up in many ways inside the Congress. For instance, the election of Rajendra Prasad, twice as president of India. So there were different kind of lobbies operating inside the Congress, and there was enough democracy inside the Congress to allow those lobbies to exist. So what happened after Indira Gandhi was a completely different Congress. She decimated that kind of democracy that existed inside the party. She centralized everything, and she propped up minions everywhere. So the ideology question became very quaint, very small, because it became a party of, say, what it has become today in Karnataka, the party of toughies and Musclemen like D.K. Shivkumar. So 1980s on, the rise of the BJP, Congress never learned to respond to that. If Congress had learned to respond to the rise of the BJP, they never took it seriously. They said, yes, these things don't work, because they were always looking at the demographic divide that existed, and they thought that a combination of this will always prop us up, no matter what. But the reality is, after the Rajiv Gandhi election, there has been a consistent drop in the Congress vote share. Only in, I think, 2009, there was a little bump, but that too was for very different reasons. And then it again went down. And they never realized that all through, say 20, 30 years, when their vote share was dropping, when they were losing control of states, and states like Tamil Nadu, they have never been able to recover for 60 years, right? And a lot of these places, so they don't seem to have responded to the times. And today, because we are talking so much about the ideological question, and today when the right is on the rise, the identity questions are very big. The nationalist questions are very big. Make America great again, make India great again. When you're hearing all those kind of slogans, what is the Congress trying to do? The Congress is trying to appropriate the agenda of its partners, Ambedkarism, mandalism,
Good point.
and yeah, so federalism.
Right.
So these are the constitutionalism. So if you are the classic mistake that the Congress is trying to do is you have built a set of allies and you're now trying to rob their agenda. And do you think they're going to pardon you? Will Samajwadi Party allow you to raise its head in Uttar Pradesh ever again if you are trying to take away the Mandal agenda? If you are trying to take away the Dalit
I'm going to
agenda,
cut you a bit
you
short
think,
because you made a good.
yeah. So those are the central questions that are there. Congress does not have a cultural narrative. Congress does not have an emotional argument. They only are operating through a certain kind of reason that certain elite, players inside the Congress are putting forward. And I think the Congress has to shed its elite, and then I think it would be in a position to think clearly. I wouldn't say they will be successful. To at least think clearly, these people should be sent out.
Well, elite is a big code word which we'll go into in our next show. I think I can name a few of these so-called elites. But Rahul, quick, you started this line of thought, so a quick response to what Shivata said.
No, they were absolutely right. See, the only occasion where Rahul Gandhi stood tall in the recent years was when Rahul Gandhi took a Bhagavan Paramashiva's picture and said, Gandhi Zinda hai. He took Paramashiva's picture, Jesus Christ, mosque and all. See, this is the line. This is the Gandhian line. That's as simple as that. See, I really respect Anand Kochudi ji. See, the point is, the word secularism in the normal middle class Hindu mind has become something like you are trying to tie me down to something. See, this is the idea. So, reinvent the jargon, reinvent the language, use the word like, pluralism, communal harmony, Hindu-Muslim unity or Hindu-Muslim-Christian unity. The old narratives and the jargons are over. And just let me quickly go across. I don't know whether it is seeing. See, there is always a right-wing and left-wing world over. During Mahatma Gandhi's time, the center-left was represented by Nehruji. The center-right was represented by Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel. And the center-right was always strong. Mahatma Gandhi wanted to counterbalance. That's the reason why, in spite of Sardar Patel getting more votes, he wanted Nehruji, the left liberal progressive Brahmin, to be the prime minister instead of a conservative Sardar Patel. See, why can't we be honest about the caste community equations of India? The point is, whenever this comes, everyone knows that, we vote our caste or a good percentage of India vote on identity lines. But when we come to studios or when we come to, speeches, we always pretend to be secular. See, secularism will not work, but pluralism will work. See, the Gandhian pluralism is the soul of India. I keep on saying, especially to our North Indian friends, in Kerala, we go to Shabarimala. Crores of Hindus go to Shabarimala, and before going to Shabarimala, we worship in a mosque. We go to a church called Arthingal Church. We go to a Vavar mosque. This is the line that Mahatma Gandhi took. When Jinnah was gaining in stature, Mahatma Gandhi made Maulana Abul Kalam Azad the president of Congress. See, and the message was, see, there is a holy Quran Pandit, there is a pluralistic Indian Muslim to counter a meat eat or a piggy or a, the alcohol consuming atheist Jinnah. See, this is the angle that Congress has forgot. And please remember, economics and identity are the left and right. Congress needs to balance. And one last line, people like D.K. Shivakumar are the right people. He says, I'm a proud Hindu, I will die a Hindu, I will live a Hindu and die a Hindu. He was the person last year who fought for a Jesus Christ statue with RSS in Bangalore. He hard fought for a, see, this is the kind of angle. Or Shashi Tharoor sir, when he writes, I didn't get that question, ma'am.
So that is a pluralistic Hindu that you were talking about.
That is the pluralistic Hindu. And when he goes to Sadhguru Jaggi Vasudev or Christian programs, see, this is what a normal Hindu that appeals to me. Last line. Why is Shashi Tharoor sir writing, why am I Hindu? Because he knows that there is a constituency. Wants to play to that, and he wants to be the soft Nair Hindu, soft not Hindutva, but soft Hindu Nair forward caste, inclusive chief minister after K. Karnagaran. And let me just conclude by saying this: 90% of Hindus are like me. I have 2 tattoos in my hand. If one is swastika, other is Gandhi. See, when you can balance both, go for that particular line. Don't go for the old left liberal Nehruvian secularist line. That won't work. If Congress is going to harp on that, they will never have that. For example, right now, many Congress people never sings things like Vande Mataram, never sings other things. They are having an imaginary illusion of, being chained by...
I'll have to now really cut it short because Anand needs to get a final word in. We are out of time. I will call you all back again to discuss the ideology debate. I think we started off something really good here. But Anand, final word to you. I'm sorry, you'll have to just make it a little short.
No, I agree with all the things that the esteemed panelists spoke, including Rahul, although I would slightly put it differently. Pluralist is fine, but you don't have to say anything against secularism. Secularism need not be a bad word. This was made a bad word, I think, by, L.K. Advani when he coined the pseudo secular term. But apart from that, I agree. The Congress has to think of what ideology it is professing. It has to be acceptable to the majority community. And in 2014, when the Congress lost, A.K. Antony, produced a report. I don't know if it's probably Rashid Koi knows about the whereabouts of that report, but it must be somewhere in the old 24 Akbar Road or in the new building, but they are not acting on any of those reports. These reports, from time to time, there are so many reports, but they never act on any of that. And the Congress needs to rediscover and redefine its ideologies, as simple as that. And they cannot be more left than the other parties, especially in Kerala. They cannot be further to the left of the left in Kerala.
On that note, I think we've really touched upon something really monumental here, which I hope the Congress is working on. But I'm going to maybe call you all back again for, I think, round 2 of this session. But for now, thank you so much for being part of the roundtable. Thank you.
Thank you.
For more such videos, subscribe to the NewsX YouTube channel, hit the bell icon.